What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Morgan Allena, True Crime and Mystery. If this is your first time watching my videos, I am Morgan. I pretty much talk about anything related to true crime. Pretty much you know the genre and where it kind of can divert to and all the various things that can encompass with that. That's my vibe, more so the mental aspects, the psychology of things. I love it. So if you enjoy true crime or kind of talking about stuff like that and you end up enjoying this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And speaking of subscribers, I have gotten over 1,000 new subscribers. I believe 1,220 or something just about. And I want to say thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I am very excited. And even though I've only been making videos for like 3 months, since like October, it really means a lot, like hearing what you guys have to say and discussing things back and forth. So I really do appreciate the support. And maybe I'm not really one for New Year's resolutions or anything like that, but maybe just to grow my channel with you guys and to just make more videos, make more content, and it's something I really enjoy doing and researching and stuff like that. It's just always been my thing, so maybe that's my New Year's resolution, is to grow this channel, and I hope you guys want to join for the ride. But yeah, obviously we know Gypsy's account got banned, shocker, after her whole weird hacker situation, but I feel like it's honestly more surprising that people are confused by the fact that her account got banned. Because I mean, she quite literally told everybody to mass report the account. So I'm not really sure where the confusion's coming from, because I don't think it has anything to do with it, who she is or anything like that. I think it's just the fact that she told everybody to mass report the account. She'll more than likely get it back just because the amount of followers that she had. But who cares, honestly. I do feel convinced that there's one thing that her team is doing, and that is starting these labor rumors that she's going into labor and to getting the focus off of some other things, which I do think might have something to do with the fact that part of Dee Dee's family has started coming out and speaking a little bit. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Without a Crystal Ball, Katie Joy. I know some people have some various opinions about her. I don't really know a lot about her, but I did listen to a live that she did on TikTok, and I guess some family members of Claudine was on there talking, and I want to talk a little bit about this. I'm just going to play some of those clips that Katie Joy has posted on her TikTok while she was on live with the family members, and then we'll discuss that a little bit. But before we do that, make sure to please like this video if you enjoy this or you enjoy seeing my content. Please make sure to hit the like and share this video and subscribe to my channel, or hit the follow button if I post this on TikTok. I'm not sure, but yes, let's get into it.
Yeah. So what do you think about the story that Gypsy's saying about Claude and Dee Dee, and how Dee Dee was a victim of Claude?
There's no way.
Yeah.
No way, Mr. Clark. There's no way he would do anything like that. No way.
That's what I told him. That's what I told him.
Said.
And that's what my brother-in-law says too. And my husband just told them there's no way they all fit in that little bitty ass bathroom. No way.
Yeah, Mr. Claude is not. No. No.
I mean, not to mention,
when
Dee Dee had a
Gypsy,
broken leg.
you remember like were you around when Gypsy was little and she tried to sit on his lap and he throw her off?
No, I wasn't friends
No.
with Dee Dee then.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I've just been like, I've never met a single person that knew Dee Dee that ever heard that story. Ever.
Because it wasn't
Gypsy
true.
wasn't like that. That's defamation of character, if anything.
And Dee Dee's not here to speak on it. So,
Yeah.
you know,
That's just
and
hearsay.
the story about Dee Dee not being Mr. Claus, I don't believe that either. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I have a hard time with it. Because Mr. Claude was the one that really got around.
I was going to say, normally it's the guys that have the illegitimate kids. It's not really the women.
I mean,
but then I can't say that because some women do when their men are on the boat. So it is vice versa. Could be, but no.
Was that ever a rumor, Suzette, that she wasn't Claude's?
No.
No,
No.
I didn't think so.
And
Was
Bobby
Dee
was
really
always,
on
when I
holiday?
was there, plenty times Bobby was there. I had to babysit him.
I'm trying to understand, like, why would Bobby be so on this, like, train to, like, he hadn't seen Gypsy for, like, a million years. He knew next to nothing. He was...
So before I move on to the next one that she had posted, because I didn't actually watch this live, so I wasn't able to get the entire thing. I don't know if she, like, uploads them or what, but I'm just going by the ones that she's posted onto her TikTok. But I want to say, like, I literally called that about the whole bathtub thing, because putting more than one adult in a bath is just, it's not, unless you've got a really big, like, whirlpool type tub, like jacuzzi tub, it's not going to be a comfortable thing. It's not going to be something that you can just do very easily. And I brought this up whenever I was reviewing Gypsy's book about how Dee Dee's leg was literally almost severed. Like, it was so badly injured. She had to have rods, and it was just, like, stuck that way. There's no way that she was probably taking a bath or even a shower for a hot minute because of what she had done. I thought it was kind of intriguing how she said that apparently in a story, Gypsy tried to sit on Claude's lap and he threw her off, which I find that, I don't know how I feel about that statement. And it could go towards, obviously Claude said that when Gypsy was little, she tried to touch him inappropriately, which I have read that hypersexuality can be a symptom, I guess, of the chromosome defect that Gypsy does carry, with the way that her specific chromosome deletion can actually present. It's just it's a wide range. It can be from, GI issues to muscle weakness to the teeth to the behavioral. I've seen a lot of parents, because I have read through forums of parents that have children that have this same chromosome disorder, and there's a lot of, it's just a very all-encompassing type of thing. You just don't really know what you're going to get or how you're going to be affected when you have, and I don't know a whole lot about children that are just naturally that way. Typically, I would always say, there's zero reason why a child should have any clue whatsoever about anything related to sexual anything, period. There's no reason why they should know anything about anything, and if they do, it's because something went wrong. But I don't know. I haven't studied enough necessarily about children that are just naturally hypersexual in a way from, relating to genetic issues or whatever the case, mental issues. But I did look into the hypersexuality portion of what kids can go through, apparently, if there's not any prior abuse. So, like I mentioned, that it can be displayed in somebody that has the exact same chromosome disorder as what Gypsy has. So I wanted to kind of look into it, because it's kind of one of those things that are not super common, but apparently it says hypersexuality can be a manifestation of pediatric bipolar disorder, specifically in a controlled blinded study of 93 children with pre-pubertal and early adolescent bipolar disorder phenotype. Approximately 1% had a history of abuse, but 43% were hypersexual. These data were based upon separate mother and child interviews using the Washington University in St. Louis Kitty Schedule for Affective Disorders and Schizophrenia to obtain hypersexuality ratings. Histories of abuse were obtained separately from parents and children using a comprehensive psychosocial battery. In addition, reports from pediatricians, doctors, after-school personnel, educators, and guidance counselors were obtained. This sample of children provides strong support that hypersexuality and child mania occurs in the absence of abuse. So it's not always in cases of abuse, basically. Part of the problem with accepting hypersexual behaviors in children as a mania symptom has been the overall contentiousness of the field about whether child mania even exists. However, pre-pubertal and early adolescent bipolar disorder phenotype has been validated and defined as the DSM-5 bipolar 1 disorder, manic or mixed phase with elation and or grandiosity, as one criterion to avoid diagnosis only by criteria that overlap with those of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Unlike adults with mania, multiple marriages and overt acts of sexual promiscuity will not be present in children as they are not developmentally appropriate manifestations. Rather, in children with mania, these symptoms are manifested by flirtatious or sexualized behaviors that are both age and situation inappropriate. So, if I hesitate to say it, I'm not saying one way or the other, but if we were to believe Claude that Gypsy did attempt to touch him inappropriately or in a way that made him feel like it was not normal, and this other story where it was said that Gypsy got on his lap and he put her off, maybe for some reason that he felt was abnormal, it could be possible. I mean, hypersexuality is something that can happen in children that are not abused. So I don't know. I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just saying it's something to consider.
Gets into a fight with Tiffany because Tiffany thinks that she's got cameras in her face too much, like chasing fame too much.
From what I mean, I guess I really don't know. I wasn't there. But that's, like I said, 2 weeks ago she called me because, like I said, Paul was in the hospital, so that's when I talked to her. And she was telling me about the book and everything. And I told her, I was like, I'm gonna see about buying it. And she's like, well, I don't want to give her any money, so if you buy it, then you need to share that book. And I was like, absolutely. And so I asked Tate, and he's like, oh no, we ain't spending no money on it. And y'all, the sad thing is, like, I told them, like, I knew the baby's name since August because they've been planning this baby shower since August, and I was invited, and nobody else in the Petri family was invited besides me and Bobby. And I was literally gonna go, and I had it marked on my calendar and everything. I have the baby's clothes, like I bought her a shitload of clothes, and I ended up not going to it. So I have it, and I mean, maybe one day I might meet her. I mean, I'm not gonna bend over backwards for nobody. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I never actually probably met her, because I guess they want me to go to them. I really don't know. Like,
if you don't fully believe her that she was the abused and that she had no other way out, she doesn't want anything to do with anyone that doesn't believe that.
Well, you see, that was one thing that Christy did tell her, that Dinah's going to tell you how it is, either which way. And I told Christy I have questions, that I want to ask her, and I'm going to ask her when I meet her. And that's the only two things that I can see where she don't want to meet me face to face, is because she don't want to hear me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like the bluntest person you're ever going to meet. Like, I'm going to tell you, because I even told that to Christy when she was here. Somebody was saying, oh, you're going to tell Gypsy something or whatever. She's going to hear something that you don't like and whatever. And she's going to roll up to your house. And I said, I wish the bitches would. And Christy's like, fuck, no, we ain't rolling up to shit at your house. I'm like, well, you're here right now. She's like, yeah, but we're not talking smack, with her. But I know Aunt Darla and Gypsy got into a Facebook fight.
Dorla and Gypsy got into a Facebook fight?
Yes.
When did that happen?
Right when she came out.
What happened?
Let's see. Gypsy sent her a message stating, because Darla was posting all the stuff about Dee Dee, which, I mean, yeah, like, we all agree, like, she didn't deserve what she got like that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody deserves to die over anything. Right. Because Lord knows if, and I'm just gonna be upfront with y'all. I say it like I see it, and I have no filter. So, like, if I would do that to somebody, like, because we all say, oh, I want that person, I'd have a million people underneath my belt. You get what I'm saying?
Yep. This is Tate. Oh, so this woman is married to Tate Petri Jr., who is nephew of Dee Dee Blanchard.
Right.
And she is cousins with Nellie, who's been on this place. And so Tate Jr. is Tate Petri, and Tate's father is Tate Petri, who is Dee Dee's brother.
Right.
Okay. So she and Dorla got into a fight about what Gypsy was saying on social media.
Something about, I mean, like I said, it was when it first came out. Now and Darla did send me the message, but it was in their private message on Facebook, and that's like, I guess because she's supportive of her sister. I really didn't understand the concept, and she blocked her, so they never had any communication. Now Gypsy and I were supposed to have communication and stuff, but like we said, we didn't want to be around the film or anything like that. And Christy came over here.
Christy frames Dee Dee. Every single step she took was nefarious.
Yes.
With no concept that maybe she really just loved her daughter.
Wait, hold on. What, Tate?
I didn't say anything.
You said, huh?
Yeah, but according to the book, he wasn't really the fool at the bottom. It's my grandpa.
What did Tate just say?
He said, so according to her book, Didi wasn't really the bad one. It was his grandpa.
Right. But it's like, it's always someone else's. It's like, and she called the whole family like fuck ups, right? In that book. She's like, my mom was the only one that wasn't a fuck up.
Her mom. Okay, so let's get this clear. Okay, so everybody in their family has worked and is still working. As y'all just heard at the beginning when I said Tate Senior, because you said Junior. Okay.
Yeah.
He's working at a shipyard. He's a welder. You know how hard that is? He's been doing that all his life.
Right.
Mr. Tate bought a house when he was 13 years old. So tell me how long this man's been working.
Right.
He still has that house. He has another house. He has 2 houses in Golden Meadow. You know, Evans was a welder. Uncle Pookie, I don't know, which that's Tate's parent. I don't know. And he don't work no more. But I think he worked on the boats. I don't know. I get that wrong.
Right. No, I mean, that was something I was going to say right off the bat is like, if the book is obviously Rod's narrative that he's painted to Gypsy about the Pitres to try to like make it seem like Petri's bad, Blanchard's good. And it's,
Do you really believe that it's Rod?
I think it's Rod and Christy.
Because like, I don't hear much.
Obviously, we know Gypsy's story has so many holes in it. There's so many different changes and scenarios. It's hard to really actually keep up with what she truly believes happened. And obviously, they go on to talk about Bobby, which is the step grandmother. So Laura, I believe her name was, that's her son. I think he was just quite literally after fame. He doesn't care about Gypsy. Let's just put it plain and simple. Laura hated Didi. She said that in her book, that Laura was obviously vindictive enough and a nasty woman to rip up Didi's wedding picture or just rip up Didi's face. That's cruel, you know, because I'm sure Didi wasn't happy about being a single mother and being divorced. No one is, even if you're not in the happiest of relationships. Nobody wants to have like a failed relationship. A marriage, when you have a kid, it's just, especially in like Southern type of cultures, it's very frowned upon. That's why they have shotgun weddings in the first place, is because it's like a shameful almost type of thing. So I can imagine that was very, very hurtful to her. So I think that's just quite literally the only reason that Bobby has anything to say and is even bringing half this stuff up. I think he's probably like his mama and has been hearing a lot of stuff since when he was young. And he jumped at his opportunity. Because especially if you go watch back on Gypsy's prior docu-series or whatever it was when she was still in jail and they were interviewing Claude and Laura, you can just see it on her. She was almost the one, I think, that brought up flushing the ashes down the toilet before Claude did. I think he was just kind of joining in with it. But she was the one that said it first. And I thought that was kind of odd. But of course I don't believe that she really believes that she was being poisoned by Didi with Roundup. I don't believe that whatsoever. Because honestly, you can easily go to a doctor and get tested for that because it is such a toxic chemical. You're not going to be slowly poisoned by Roundup for 9 months and not be hospitalized and them not find it. You can have blood work done, and if it's usually something like that, like they have the test developed for that. You're not just going to die slowly, and just because it is it's a widely known chemical. Like, it's not like something random, like that you would only be tested for at an autopsy, if that makes sense. Like Visine, you like just die at that point if you get too much of somebody tries to poison you with Visine. So I don't know. But yeah, let's look at a couple other ones.
What I think is weird is that, so she claims that her mom's side is so supportive of this book, which is obviously not true.
No.
She got into a fight with her aunt right after getting out of prison and blocked her aunt Dorla.
So we can see that Didi Blanchard's sister, Claudia, did speak out a little while ago. It was on a comment where someone had said Rod Blanchard saying Didi Blanchard deserved what she got is disgusting. I don't know if you have seen that clip, but Rod was essentially saying if she did all that stuff to Gypsy, then she kind of had it coming. And which we all know, obviously, that Dee Dee more than likely didn't do all that stuff, so I could understand what he was saying in the way that he was meaning for it to be said. But we all know that obviously Gypsy has lied and lied and lied, so it is, I think it's kind of a void statement. But she said, we were her family too. Shame on them for profiting on her death. That's dirty money, cursed to them all. And she said, now this is just me, but the monster she's making everyone believe my sister was is the monster she's turning out to be. Enough is enough. Exactly, we never had closure. They are all cash cows, but my sister has no voice now. I always said they both should have been in jail, and it would have been a lot easier if my sister passed away in jail. Katie Joy responded to Claudia saying, I'm so sorry for your loss of Dee Dee. Even if she committed fraud, she didn't deserve to die in this manner. No one in the Blanchard family nor Gypsy should be profiting off this crime. Claudia said, it's so very true. My sister was far from perfect, but she's gone now, and my godchild is still going on with her one-sided story. Obviously, because Dee Dee can't defend herself, and there's no way to even know what the actual motive was behind this. We don't have any records or anybody, because nobody ever knew. So we can't ever really say what Dee Dee really thought or what she was doing or the reasonings behind what she was doing, or we don't know. We weren't there, but from what the evidence actually shows, it's completely opposite of what Gypsy claims happened. According to Gypsy, pretty much the only individual that has been really supportive of Gypsy when she was in prison and when she got out was Bobby, which was Laura's son, or the stepson, I believe. I don't think he's actually Claude's son, but he apparently was very supportive of Gypsy. Let's go back to her first book whenever she was still in prison being interviewed, Conversations on the Eve of Freedom, and let's look at what she has to say about her family and of Bobby. Gypsy said, Bobby has always been supportive of me from day one. I was in Greene County Jail, and Bobby had done an interview with the local news saying that although he didn't approve of my crime, he did understand my reasons. I sent an email to Christy last week asking if she would ask Bobby to write a support letter for my upcoming parole hearing, and she said he actually wants to go there in person. And then Melissa said, what did you feel when you heard that news? It felt wonderful. My aunts were not wanting to come to my hearing. They're neutral. So to have someone on my mother's side to come on my behalf because they genuinely support me looks good to the parole board, because, you know, it's the family of my victim in support of my parole. He's been really sympathetic. What do you hope Bobby shares with the parole board? He can tell them how my mom was. Confirm that he had noticed oddities. Just offer his point of view. How me getting paroled will allow me to actually live with family and rebuild bridges that I burned with my mom's family. I hope he'll say that me coming home to the family is not gonna hurt their healing process. The family will hopefully see that I can come out and rebuild broken bonds and mend and heal as a family. What would you want to say to Bobby if you could speak to him right now? Oh gosh, I'm so grateful to Bobby for not abandoning me. So many family members on my mother's side took a silent role, and Bobby was the only person to come out in support of me. I have all of the appreciation in the world for that. It's one thing for my dad and my stepmom, the Blanchard side, to speak on my behalf, but to have anyone from the victim side to support and not let me walk this path alone goes against the grain of the family. Bobby taught me the real role of family when he did that. But I mean, technically, Bobby's... is he even really family? It's no wonder that he was willing to go talk crap on Dee Dee whenever his mom was the one that was remarried to Claude, and clearly Laura hated Dee Dee. And it had the little note on there. It says, a few months after the conversation, Gypsy's cousin Bobby actually did get to go to Missouri with the intention of attending the hearing, but due to a miscommunication, he arrived at the wrong location. His letter of support went a long way with the board, and just the fact that he traveled all that way warms my heart. Thank you, Bobby. That doesn't even make sense. How did they get a letter if he was planning on showing up in person to offer his support? I guarantee you he probably lied to Gypsy, if any of that even happened, and said that he went there and just had a miscommunication and he didn't actually go at all, or they just made that up to make it look like he was really supportive of Gypsy and he just doesn't really care that much, and he's only ever been a part of this for attention. I've heard people that have spoken to Bobby in real life or have known of him and his family, and they don't always have really nice things to say about him. So I don't know. Obviously, I don't know him, but I've always kind of got the vibe that he is not trustworthy person. Gypsy says, as I look at my life during these years of incarceration, I realized that trust and its flip side, betrayal, were ever present in my family's dynamic. My mother had been betrayed growing up. She betrayed me as I grew up, and then I betrayed my mother in the ultimate way. 3 generations of botched trust. Yet Gypsy still continues to betray the trust of her family with the hopes that they would maybe, possibly, somehow get to an understanding of why she did what she did, maybe not totally accept or forgive it, but she keeps betraying that and going back on her word of really wanting to mend those broken bridges. She clearly does not want to do that, because let's look at what Gypsy actually had to say in a private message to her family. This was a message that was sent to one of Dee Dee's sisters, so Gypsy's aunt. And she said, if you have something you would like to say to me about my documentary life or how I live it, by all means, please. I'm all ears, because sharing hate videos is messed up, especially since you are family. Sorry, but you are being unfriended. I have no time for those who add to the drama in my life. I just wanted it to be known. I'm sorry for the pain I've caused, but now I'm going to allow myself a little grace to let myself be free for once in my life. Like, I don't think you understand who you're talking to. Like, what are you doing? You're not the victim. They're the victims. They're the only living victims. The family members are the victims, not you. Crazy, absolutely crazy. That she won't even give them the grace or the ability to be able to move on or to get to where they need to be, to have Gypsy even be anything in their lives. But she feels she's owed that immediately because what? She said sorry? But actions speak louder than words, apparently. Gypsy said, not everyone has forgiven me for my mom's fraud. I like how she doesn't say me and my mom's fraud. She thinks people don't forgive her because of her mom's fraud, not because they don't forgive her because she killed her mom. No. Really? It's both of your fraud at this point. Like, we're both in on the con. You were 23 years old. She was more than well aware. Like, you can't be both. You can't be totally sheltered and unable to comprehend all these things, but still going online, going into chat rooms, talking with random men, doing all of these things, acting the way that you did, acting sexually, acting provocatively, all of these things. You can't be both. You just really can't. It doesn't make any sense. You can't be so sheltered and so withheld from any interaction besides your mother, yet still have multiple memberships to multiple groups and go on multiple outings and have free range to do what I want to do and be up all night long talking to whoever you want to talk to. Do you have contact with any of your family? Has your grandfather ever tried to contact you during all of these years? No, I don't have any communication with him and I don't want it. My 2 aunts and I have spoken. We do so about once a year. None of my uncles have reached out to me. My cousin Tiffany and my cousin Bobby have, and that's pretty much it. Everyone has lives and busy work schedules. And one of the family members of Dee Dee did say that the whole entire Petri family was pretty much the enemy of this second book, and that's really pretty true. You know, Gypsy blamed one of Dee Dee's brothers for kicking them out on the street, leaving her and her disabled daughter homeless. and Gypsy saying she remembered vividly all her toys thrown on the yard. And it was all over because Gypsy wasn't in school, even though she wouldn't have even been old enough to be really in school. She said she was like 5 years old, and that's like just right around the time kids really start going to school. I mean, preschool is not necessarily required. Pre-K, you can go right into kindergarten, and she said she went to kindergarten, so that doesn't even make sense. But so far, that's pretty much all that I've seen of what, you know, acquaintances, family, friends, or whatever has said about this situation. And I'm looking forward to hearing more from them because I feel like they need to speak out. It's not easy, but I applaud them for doing it at this point. I think they've kept quiet long enough and they've let things get a little bit too far ahead. And when certain things are put out, it's hard to change the narrative of things. So I do applaud them for doing that in the way that they've done it and not by going about it in a way that's more attention seeking like some of the other family members have that are not on Dee Dee's side. Pretty much it for this video. Let me know what you guys think about this. Are you excited to be hearing about what Dee Dee's family and friends are saying about this? They were talking about they're basically playing the long game. So they're paying attention to what is being said by Christy, by Gypsy, by whoever, and they're paying attention to these things and they are collecting information for maybe some point down the road where it may be more beneficial to them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and discussing this. I hope you guys have a really great new year. I will be back to posting more videos. I think next time I'm gonna do like because I just have been thinking that I never like introduce myself or really say anything about who I am. So maybe I'll do a video about that next if that's something you guys are interested in. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate all of you guys. But I do appreciate all of you guys, and I don't really see the people that are subscribed to my channel as like subscribers or followers. I just feel like we're all just people interested in the same thing. Like I don't see it like that, see it that way. I don't know. But maybe it's just because I've only been making videos for like a short period of time. But regardless, I like talking to you guys. I really appreciate all of you. That will be it for now. If you've got a New Year's resolution, let me know in the comments. I will see you guys next time. Bye.